Bismillah ve salatu ve selamu ala Rasulillah. This is a very special day for us today. We have a very important scholar on Islamic economics and finance, Professor Enes Zarqa is with us at Istanbul Sabahattin Zaim University today. This team, together with Professor Sabahattin Zaim, Najatullah Siddiqui, Naqib Al-Attas, Urshid Ahmed, and Professor Enes Zarqa, etc. These are the leading scholars on Islamic economics and finance who first start International Islamic Economics Congress in Mecca during 1976. This was the first organization in academia on this issue. And today, this is really a very good chance for us to listen from this generation, this kind of very important scholar today here. Last summer, I visited also Professor Urshid Ahmed in Leicester, in United Kingdom, and we shared something with him. And today, with Professor Enes Zarqa, he shared so many stories about this generation, about their leadership, and also we discussed the project on Encyclopedia of Islamic Economics. They published 2 volumes, and the next 2 volumes, inshallah, will be published by Istanbul Zaim University in near future in English. And then, inshallah, we are planning to publish in Arabic and in other languages in Turkish. So it is a great pleasure to me to introduce this important scholar on the area today, and I hope to everyone it will be really very good chance for all of you to listen to him, to get his vision about the past, present, and future of Islamic economics and finance, from the economic thought to political economy, to ethics, to the system. And I would like to thank to Professor Enes Zarqa to come to Istanbul Zaim University today to be with us, and I hope a successful seminar today, inshallah. Thank you very much for coming to be here with us, and the floor is yours, Professor Enes Zarqa. You're welcome.
طيب.
Thank you.
بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم. أظن الغزالي أو أحد عالم الكبار, he was traveling. On the way, he had all his books. A highwayman interrupted the journey and said to take all belongings. He begged him, please leave my books. The highwayman told him, are the books your knowledge on paper or is in your heart? He gave him a lesson. He said, after that, I wanted to keep knowledge in my heart, not on paper, but I have to use some paper nonetheless. Now, about the past of Islamic economics, we may well rightfully say Islamic economics started with the advent of Islam, because the basis of Islamic economics from the Sharia point of view, and Sharia and fiqh, it dates back to the time of revelation of the Quran and the following Sunnah and so on. So, to say that Islamic economics is the same as history of Islam is correct. But Of course, in this sense, in the sense of what to do and what not to do, it is correct, because Sharia came with concepts and do's and don'ts. So this part of Islamic economics is as old as Sharia. But until 1967, or in Hijri 1396 Hijra year, until the first conference of Islamic economics, most of those who contribute to Islamic economics are fuqaha, and they write about topics from the point of view, economic topics from the point of view of fiqh. In 1976, in Makkah al-Mukarramah, where the first international conference on Islamic economics was held. It was a very unusual conference, unlike many conferences you hear about. First, it was big. It went on for 6 days. It had hundreds of participants from all over the world, Sharia scholars, economists, and other interested in Islamic economics. It went on. It has very strong quality control of the paper to be submitted. I remember I happened to be in some committee supervising, reviewing the papers. There were strict criteria, and all papers, hundreds were submitted. They were all reviewed and select few. Anyhow, it was a high quality conference. And from that time, a lot of economists got interested in Islamic economics. Professional economists started contributing to Islamic economics. After this initial phase, and with the collaboration of many people from outside Saudi Arabia, notably like Professor Khurshid Ahmed from the UK and Pakistan, and many other big personalities from Jordan, Dr. Ishaq al-Farhan, Allah yarhamu, Dr. Hamid Abu Sulaiman from Saudi Arabia, many other scholars. They were international talents producing and helping support and make vision for this newborn discipline. After that, until I would say 1976, until the end of 1980s, there were very strong scholarly input in Islamic economics. And we established center in Jeddah. King Abdulaziz University was very instrumental in attracting not only Muslim but even non-Muslim economists who are interested in doing dialogue. This was a very effective establishment of an international journal in English and Arabic. It's a refereed journal, high quality, and so on. So now in the 80s, in the late 80s especially, the child of Islamic economics became Islamic finance, but it grew so more famous than the father. The child became more famous than the father. And people will come to visit Islamic economics, they will talk to the child and forget about the father. This is until now. So we have to keep in mind, from after the late 90s, you have to distinguish Islamic finance and banking, it became a separate sort of endeavor, separate project, and Islamic economics. Islamic economics had the present and the future. The future, Islamic economics has a bird with two wings. Economics and Sharia. It needs two wings to fly. It cannot fly with one wing. What is happening now is that most talents are going into Islamic finance, and very few good economists are in Islamic economics. So the future is not bright, unfortunately. The future for Islamic economics as an academic discipline, intellectual discipline, is not very bright. All the economists in Islamic economics, the good economists, are all very old. I am one of them, a few. And very few new talents are coming. I will definitely count among the new talents Dr. Sami Suelim, excellent addition, but we don't have many like him, who is a good economist, well versed in fiqh, and he knows economics very well. I will suggest to you to see a sample of how he connects Sharia and economics. He has a book on hedging in Islamic finance, which is available in Arabic and English. It's an original contribution, both in economics and in fiqh. He took, anyhow, I'm not going to talk about that book, but it is a sample. I have sent Dr. Shashi to distribute to you other samples from my work, how to combine economics and fiqh and sharia to generate new insights and important. It is impossible for Islamic economics to advance through finance only, because remember, finance is vital, but it cannot hold the economy. What holds the overall view of the economy is economic science. You have to know the causes and effects and the internal medicine. What is the connection between the mind and the liver and the kidneys? This is internal medicine. The same in economic life. You get interconnections between diverse phenomena. Economics addresses this, but for Islamic finance, it's small, limited. So we need, for the future of Islamic economics, we need good conventional economics who know Sharia and fiqh also. This is the big challenge. If any one of you knows himself or knows someone young, intelligent person to guide him to be a good, solid economist and with good knowledge of Sharia and fiqh, this is the type of need for the future. Even within Islamic finance, there are, should I say, dirty secrets in banking and money that only economists can discover. Other people look, it's all clean. Islamic economics looks, say, oh, there is a dangerous germ there. It will cause this and this. We need the power of economic analysis to look deep, even in Islamic finance. In fact, let me give you a little bit about economics of finance, not financing, economics of finance and banking. The present bank, this you consider it appendix to my lecture. Look, the present money and monetary and banking system in the whole world is built on what they call fractional reserve. If you study economically closely the inside of this system, you find a lot of zulm built into the system. Bankers don't know about it unless they happen to have studied economics well. And economists don't talk about it. The Anglo-Saxon approach to economics is how it works, not why. Is it just or not just? You took any book in money and banking, you look for the word justice or right or wrong or ethics. They never discuss. They tell you the mechanics of how the system works. But is it just? Who benefits? Who hurts? They don't talk about. They say these are ethical questions. We are only economists. It is our duty as Muslim economists to go deep and see where is the zulm within the system. If there is zulm, where is it? How can we explain it so everybody understands it? To make sure you appreciate that this is a difficult task, I'll mention to you the name of Maurice Allais, who was invited to come to the Islamic development and give a lecture in 1992. He got the Nobel Prize in Economics in the late 80s. And his lecture, I will send to you through English and available in Arabic. He delivered in French and he delivered in English. Anyhow, he is a big economist who knows what he is saying. He says one of the bad aspects of the present money and banking system, it is complicated, so complicated, the average citizen cannot appreciate and doesn't know what happens. So he delegates authority to others. He doesn't know if they do this, how it affects him. He said it's a complicated system. This is one major characteristic. And he says other things about how the system is unjust. And others before him and after him also talk about this. So this is just highlighting the point that you cannot build Islamic economics from Islamic finance. You have to have solid knowledge of economics to analyze closely the financial system itself and uncover the injustices in it and how to correct. So this is the task, one major task of Islamic economics in the future. I stop at this point and let you pose questions.
Thank you very much, Professor.
I think it's best
Zarqa.
you send me questions in writing.
Or maybe you can make
So go close to him and repeat to him the question.
who can, they do not know telephone.
They can go close to her. They can repeat to him questions.
Yes.
Maybe through Dr. Shashi, you can send me
No, yeah.
any questions.
Okay.
Let's start. You can prepare yourself. I am preparing my question.
You have a question? Send it to me and I pass it on to him.
Someone sent a question, brother.
على أي تليفون رحت أوكي أيمن أنت طيب
There's one question I sent it to him. You should read it.
Could you repeat the question?
لا أعترف ذلك.
Prof. Chachi, could you repeat the
دكتور
question?
شاشي بعد دكتور شاشي بعد السؤال.
This is from Salim.
No, from Hassan.
Mumtaz.
From Hassan. From Hassan, one of our colleagues.
Maybe it's better because Dr. Shashi sent for him to keep sending to Dr. Shashi,
Okay.
so he will keep seeing
Sure.
the same conversation. You will receive all the questions to Dr. Shashi.
أي.
All the questions will be
طيب.
here.
In my paper on allocation investment, I did not address the money creation question. I avoided this because I had to concentrate on the essential idea of what is riba and how do you allocate investment without interest. So this question of money supply and I avoided. It's a big question, it's all right. And to believe it or not, I have been since the global financial crisis in 2008, 2009, I think it is يوم من أيام الله. Allah showed us, opened our eyes, we were closed, our eyes were closed, opened them, showed us physically what we were not able to see. How riba and gharar can hit hard society and inflict big losses on innocent people. Allah showed us, and it was actually that crisis shook the economics science as much as shook the financial. But unfortunately, the typical response of economists to this big shock, earthquake actually, exemplified by what the London School of Economics did. The Queen Elizabeth, was at the time, right in 2008, was visiting LS, London School of Economics, to inaugurate some building. So they say the Queen was very smart. She keeps up with the news. She posed the question. They assigned a professor to take her along. She posed the question, how come nobody expected this, the crisis? The professor who was accompanying the Queen explained, but London School of Economics felt that this Queen asked a big question. We ought to make a committee to answer the Queen later. They announced, but they said it is not proper to announce the findings of the committee. We send it to the Queen. After some months, it was released. They never acknowledged that economists were wrong and were ignorant of some important facts. They kept hedging and not saying we were wrong. And this, unfortunately, is still the state of many economists. They refuse to acknowledge what the earthquake have shown, that there is something wrong in their theory, fundamental. So anyhow, we may criticize, but we want people who can contribute to suggesting solutions and analyzing and showing the transgression and the zulm, injustice in the present system. And notice, not only Muslims, this is the concern of every human being, because all over the world, many people are suffering from this, because of this. So if Muslims start a serious thinking on the subject, they will find many people cooperating with them all over there, because it's a global human problem. The present money and financial system is rigged against the common people to the benefit of small elite. To rectify this, you will find many people ready to collaborate with you academically and in pushing for reform. So, is the present Islamic economic system is an alternative to capitalism and socialism now? It's a practical question. Actually, you can't claim Allah, please, there is a little piece I sent a note about the Sharia, a relation of conversion economics and Sharia. You cannot run economy by Sharia only. You need to have to know about reality. You need to know about reality. So you need conversion economics and Islamic guidance from Sharia. Together, I quoted for you in that small quotation Ibn Taymiyyah, big scholar. He says, من لم يعرف الواقع في الخلق والواجب في الدين لم يعرف أحكام الله في عباده. You need to know what's the reality. Ibn al-Qayyim explains it more. He says, عليه أن يعرف الواقع في الخلق حتى يحيط به علما. You have to know economic reality unless you can understand it well. And you have to know what Sharia says about this reality in the Quran or the Sunnah or the Fiqh. When you combine the two, you know reality and what Sharia says, you can produce Islamic economics. What is our problem now? We barely know about Sharia, and we know little about the real economics. So we have to have the two wings, or 2 feet. You cannot just work your way in Islamic economics application with 1 foot. So we need a lot. Actually, our critical bottleneck is to have people who know good economics and good Sharia and fiqh. Until then, we try to collaborate. No, in knowing reality, we should benefit. Yani, look, someone is asking, should we not go to historical practice Islamic countries, not only Islamic countries, non-Muslim countries, there are Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, when he is talked about he was talking about Muslims. In many cases he was talking about non-Muslims. So Ibra you derive from humanity's history, not only from Muslim economic history. You derive, there is a very valuable lessons to be learned from the Soviet experience. Very valuable lessons to learn from Chinese experience. Some lessons are negative, some positive. So, what we need to know from all humanity, we should learn the good experiences and the bad experiences. And we have the guidance of Sharia, where we can understand, evaluate what we see. So, الواقع في الخلق, not only reality, but also the history. والواجب في الدين, these two. So, we need every ounce of knowledge from humanity's heritage. And in the paper, I requested Dr. Shashi to give it to you. I was arguing as those who say we should start from zero. Never start from zero. And Sharia never asked us, and I gave very clear examples. Sharia never asked us to start from zero and throw out in the garbage human experience, abadan. You be selective about it. You look, I gave examples, and you see how. Sorry. So, be open-minded, and please be agreeable to listen to opposite views. I will tell you an interesting experience. Number one, when I was at the University of Pennsylvania, this was in the middle 60s, they announced a seminar where Sir Roy Harrod will be coming from England to participate in this seminar. Sir Roy Harrod was one famous student of Keynes, and he had a major theory about Harrod-Domer growth model, which is used in many economic plans, and I know before that Roy Harrod has a book entitled Towards a Dynamic Economics, where he says explicitly that we should try to drive interest rate to zero. So when I heard he is coming budget, I changed my schedule to attend that seminar. And I waited in the seminar for the right moment to ask Sir Roy Harrod, what are your views on, can you elaborate? The moment came and I posed the question, Sir Roy, you mentioned in your book that interest should be driven to zero. What are your views on the matter now? He said, he was an old man. He said, look, we wrote that book in the middle when the Great Depression was very much in our mind, and we were afraid the economy will be going down. We discovered later, after the war and during the war, that things were not so negative, and I don't think it's necessary now. I was building dreams about to get from Sir Roy Harrod a statement about interest rate to zero. It was, he put cold water on top of my head. Later, I came to think about it and discovered it was a very good lesson to me. You cannot build your knowledge on quotations. You have to know each idea from deep up. You know the details. Everybody knows aspirin for headache. But a doctor, if he knows deep, you know, if you overdose too much aspirin, what happens to you? Who should not take aspirin? Who should take it? When you know this, you know the idea and its roots. But if you know the quotation, okay, aspirin for headache. This is quotation. You can't build knowledge on quotation. You have the same thing with قواعد فقهية. قواعد فقهية are summary principles. المجلة says القاضي should never issue judgment based on قاعدة فقهية. He must go to detailed fiqh, because القواعد has many exceptions and many limitations. The قاعدة is helpful to remember, but it's not a basic rule. So basically, we must know economics deeply, not by quotations. And to give you an example, I went to study economics with very much with the question of riba on my mind. In the 50s, we were reading by Maududi and other Mahmoud Abu Saud. Okay, riba is haram, but economics says, as economic science, it's necessary. So I said to myself, if I get to study economics, inshallah, I will try to address this question. When I arrived to study economics, I bought Economics by Samuelson, and you look at the index, you see the interest rate. Oh, it was on my mind during my study. And after I graduated and went back, participated in the first conference and worked in the Islamic Center in Jeddah. This was all the time on my mind. I'm writing. I finished writing what I think is a good answer in Arabic and English, and it is allocation. In the allocation paper, I was, at least to my satisfaction, able to tell a Western economist what we think is wrong with what Samuelson wrote in his book. What's wrong? So it was, I went to study in the 60s.
I did
and produced that paper in, I think, I think it was in about 2017, I think. Anyhow, during that time I was writing on the subject, but until I did this, I never felt I answered the question fully. There were a lot of other Western economists commenting on the same issue. No one challenged what I said. And you can read it and decide for yourself. Anyhow, so you have to have sabr and never give up. I have to give you two advices. When you face a Sharia or economic question which you feel you want the answer, you don't have it, record your question, even if you don't know the answer, or your professor doesn't know the answer, record it. It keeps in your back mind working. When you read more, you may get insight about the answer. So take note. Take note. Never, it's an idea, and pose hard questions. Don't escape hard questions. You pose hard questions, you get deep insight. I pose hard question for you now. Is reciting Quran or reading poetry is better? Of course, we know that reciting Quran is better. Then how do you explain the Prophet ﷺ, in some of his travels, he asked someone, a companion, to recite from him from poetry. And they recorded when he finished, he will he, more. And he recited for him many poems. How do you reconcile the fact that Quran is better recitation and the question that the Prophet asked someone to recite poetry for you? How do you recite? When you pose your question, this question, you are forced to come to a good insight. Human beings need variety. You cannot keep up at the high level all the time. You, as a human being, we are meek. So the Prophet ﷺ, when we circle al-yusra, Sharia is easy to apply. You need taqwa, but you manage. You don't have to pressure yourself so much. Allah gave you leeways.
ساعة وساعة ساعة وساعة
يعني
ساعة وساعة
يعني ساعة وساعة. So you pose hard questions and you force yourself. You may not know the answer. Keep it in mind. Record it. It will keep in your back mind working until later on you may discover the answer. And my suggestion, try, those of you who feel energetic enough, try to have 2 specializations. I wish every Sharia college encourages its graduates to have 2 Sharia and bioscience, Sharia and history, Sharia and literature, Sharia and scenario writing and stories, Sharia and history. You have dual, if you can, have a dual specialization, because economic life, as you see, is fast changing. You never know. You should know another discipline where you can earn a living if the other discipline, the major, is not available. And I second also, I will strongly advise everybody to know principles of statistics, at least 101 in statistics. Descriptive, what they call descriptive statistics, is valuable tool to understand the world about you and to understand that many things in the literature. So principles of statistics, I think, should be a compulsory course in all disciplines. And I have suggested this to Wise University in Jordan. I advise him that to make a university requirement, all students, descriptive statistics at least. Those who want more, they can go to 202. But basic statistics, I'll tell you statistics, you know, someone may give a long lecture. After him, someone comes and tells you in 5 minutes what the whole lecture was about. This is balagha. This is wisdom and summary. Statistics gives you the wisdom of numbers, how to collapse thousands of numbers in 3 statistics or 4, or in a chart. You look at it, you will get the whole story. This is balagha, but balagha in numbers, not balagha in talk. So do learn principles of statistics. I have to admit, statistics is my minor, economics is my major. So I am marketing myself.
Thank you very much.
Thank you, Professor. Thank you very much for your very good presentation. And I think it's enough because at this age, it's big effort. 86, inshallah, you can reach to that age. Inshallah.
Hocam böyle bir şey yapmak istedik ama dersen olur mu?